Welcome to Crystal's Corner. Today we are doing cultured veggies, also known as sauerkraut. Dad?
I've been waiting for this so long. I've read 20 books, I've looked at videos online, and I never had the courage. So, really, I'm really excited.
You're going to be so pleasantly surprised at how easy this is to do.
Great.
I'm happy about it. So, just going to go over our ingredients and our equipment really quick. Our ingredients, today we're using carrots, cauliflower, collards, 2 different kinds of cabbage, green and purple. We're going to use a little onion, not this whole thing. We'll use a few spices to add, celery seed, oregano. One fun thing about kraut is this is just a basic recipe. You can do so many different things with kraut, and the spices are where you come and bring in flavors. You can do them with caraway, you can do one with dill, you can do, today we went with a little more oregano, celery seed, which is a little more kind of sort of Italianish based flavor, and we have lots of flexibility. So we're just going to start with a basic recipe today and then go from there. And now equipment. Cultured veggie requires a good bit of equipment. Cultured veggies. So we'll use a food processor today to shred cabbage and carrots. We'll use a Vitamix to put veggies in and make our brine. We'll use a crock. Now, Deb has this awesome fermentation crock.
Awesome. It is awesome.
I'm actually going to put these on our website really soon.
It's a great idea.
Yeah, because they're nice.
It's beautiful.
Nice. And this one, just in case you're wondering, is 10 liters. I guessed, by the way, because they come in a bunch of different sizes.
Right.
I'm like, ooh, which size? And I guessed, and that's exactly what I was envisioning.
Perfect.
So good. Which means we'll make a good amount of krauts. So with kraut, it's a good idea to make a bunch at once because it doesn't go bad. It just gets like
better and better.
It just gets better and better.
Just like women.
So yeah. Oh. Yeah. So just make a bunch. That way, it requires a little more time just in preparation. Simple, just requires a little investment.
Right.
So. And then let's see, knives, cutting board, a couple measuring spoons. It's pretty easy.
And the big thing, you want to tell me about it later, but just so you have it,
yes.
Something big to...
Something really big just to put your veggies in and stir them up before they go in. So I'm going to start by getting our cultures ready, our probiotics ready. So there's a couple different ways to do fermentation. You can do a wild fermentation or you can do a cultured fermentation. I like to do cultured, and that means I start with a starter kit, a starter pack. This has powdered probiotics in it, and then I put them in water and activate them, help them wake up with some honey. Probiotics feed on sugar, so what they're doing is the honey is going to wake them up. They're going to get all excited. Hey, baby, how you doing?
Oh, yeah.
A bunch of little bacteria babies.
Make some more, right?
So my honey's turning red over there.
Who knew? Who knew it was such a hot process?
But not too hot. We're
not too hot.
Skin temperature, so they get excited, but they still,
Right.
All right. So anyway, so we'll get that going. We're going to let that set. While that's sitting and they're getting all happy, we'll shred our veggies.
Okay.
Shredding. We're going to take the cauliflower and break it up into little pieces, and then the collards, we'll just do some big chopping. Onion will dice small as well. What I notice with veggies is the smaller pieces ferment faster.
Yeah.
And I like faster.
Yeah, right, me too. Right.
So just put them in. And then also another little trick that helps them ferment faster is to, once you get them all shredded, massage them. So we give them a good massage when we have them in our big pot.
Great.
Move them around. All right. So I started with about a cup of water. You really only require a quarter cup. Again, I love when measurements don't have to be perfect.
I love that too.
So I started with about, and we brought some of our really good vortex water. Be sure you use reverse osmosis or some kind of filtered water. So I have the starter in there. I'm going to add about a teaspoon of honey, just require a little bit. And when we did our green goddess elixir, sipping on yours there,
We know how much a half.
Yep, we know what a teaspoon looks like. Yeah. And that is a good idea, by the way. I'm glad we did your Green Goddess Elixir first, and now you have some good fuel for getting through this. I'm also going to use about a teaspoon, about a half teaspoon of Elixir of the Lake. This just gives just a little more potent yumminess to our... So I'm just going to put this on the stove now and warm it up. I'm only going to warm this up to skin temperature. Like when I put my finger in the pot, it's just skin temperature or even a little cooler. If you heat it up too much, we're actually going to kill the bacteria. Right. Don't want to do that. So stay with this while it's heating up. As soon as it gets to skin temperature, turn the heat off. If you have a gas stove, so once it's off, that's good. That's right, yeah. If you have an electric stove, take it off the burner. Yeah. So we'll do that. We'll be back. We'll be back. Very beneficial.
So one of the things that we've learned through Donna Gates and the Body Ecology is that raw cruciferous vegetables can weaken or hinder thyroid function. And so that's only in its raw state. So if you ferment the cabbage like we're doing today in the sauerkraut, that actually neutralizes the thyroid inhibiting effects of the cruciferous. So steaming cauliflower, steaming broccoli, sautéing your collards and mustards, and fermenting your cabbage, or making cabbage soup, that will actually strengthen and nutrify your body.
Perfect. Yeah. Okay, great. I've always wondered about that.
And when we're talking about nutrition in sauerkraut, this is so cool because when you ferment your foods, the nutrient content can increase up to 1,000 times. Seriously. Just like cabbage. Cabbage is rich in vitamin C. Right. When you ferment the cabbage, all the probiotic bacteria multiply the vitamin C and increase it up to 300%. So sauerkraut and cultured foods is really one of our number one superfoods because you're taking all the existing nutrition, all existing vitamins and enzymes, and they're proliferating, they're increasing and multiplying as they grow and culture. So when you harvest your kraut, you have a true superfood, rich in vitamins and minerals and enzymes.
I like to keep them around.
I love that.
All right, now we have shredded and chopped and put everything in our big pot.
Yes.
Big mixing vessel. So it's all in here. It's just layered in. So you just have it all poured in there. I also soaked some arame, some seaweed. I just soaked it to hydrate it. When I put it in, it looked like it was about a third of a cup or maybe a half of a cup. So I just soaked it until it hydrated. I'm going to put this in here too. Seaweed, very high in minerals. And some people don't really like the fishy flavor. And when you put it in cultured veggies, you don't taste any fishy.
Oh, nice.
So it's a great way to do seaweed if you're not usually a huge fan of it. Of course, this seaweed is really neutral.
You take it. It doesn't,
It tastes like noodles. So now what we're going to do,
no fish flavor.
We're going to get in here and we're going to mix this up. Now, you can mix it up with a spoon or you can get in there with your hands. I recommend doing it with your hands. Here's why. First of all, we can stir and massage, mix and massage at the same time. So that's what we'll do. It'll help even just get the juices going, which is really awesome. Then, when we create our brine and put our probiotics in the brine, these bacteria, they're alive. They're organisms. They're living. They have emotional bodies just like we do. Well, not the same, but they're alive. So they're affected by our emotional bodies. It's really good. So it really helps that, we call this a fermentation celebration. And the more fun you have with your food, the better. I agree. So now we have our veggies all mixed together. Deb did an awesome job.
Digging in.
Yes, rainbow beautiful. You see the purple cabbage and the carrots and the collards are this bright green. Now as it ferments, it's all going to turn kind of a uniform purpley color. So I really like this stage. It looks like a big confetti celebration.
It does. It smells really good.
So Deb filled our container about 3/4 full with our blend, our veggie blend. And now we fill it with water. Add water to about the same level of your veggies. we're going to make a brine. So this will be basically a soaking solution for our veggies. It's what they're going to ferment in. It's going to be the consistency of a thick soup. So I'm going to start on low. I always start with awesome.
Sounds like a ski boat.
It does. See how thick it is? It's thick,
frothy,
chunky, frothy. It's liquid. See, it moves around in there. And very good. So now, the fun stuff. First, we take your cultures and add it to our brine. I'll do this here. Okay. So now our happy little bacteria in here. I'm going to give this a very quick little blend. I don't want to blend it too much because keep them all in good shape.
Right.
So it's going to be a quick little blend just to get it mixed. There we go. All right. Now our next step is to mix it all together in the big pot. Get on in there, mix it up really good, and you'll notice it's obviously a lot more liquid now. Oh, which reminds me, as you were massaging and mixing, so she was mixing and then squeezing, mix and squeeze. When you were doing that before we added the brine, did you notice how the veggies started getting softer?
Absolutely, much softer and juicier. It already had more juice happening.
Awesome. So when Deb's done mixing, we're going to take the whole batch and put it in your crock.
All right.
You ready? Mm-hmm. Fill up your crock, and then as you fill it in, push it down. Pack it down. The more packed your veggies are in there, the happier they're going to be. They're going to ferment faster, more uniform. It's a good thing. What I like is there's a good amount of juice in the bottom of this pot.
Right.
It's good to have liquid in here. When I say a good amount, there's probably like a little quarter-inch in the bottom. Okay, so have some time now to mash it in there.
Oh.
Yeah. You notice it's a little fluffy.
I went all the way down at the bottom.
Personally, I really like this part. I think it's a lot of fun.
Take out a little.
Yeah. With love, because
No, I know. It's loving it.
Okay, pat. Oh, nice. Okay, so
Nice,
as she's
right?
packing down,
The juice is coming to the top.
That's exactly what we're looking
Yeah,
for.
it's really doing great. Yeah, we can get it.
So I'm just going to hold this up. Sorry about having our butt to the camera here.
You can tell why this is a good two-people job.
Very handy doing fermenting with two people.
Yeah. Okie-dokie.
Awesome. That was fast and easy. Pack it in some more. Now the crocks come with these little things that look like they're broken, but they're not. These are weights. So we're going to weight down the top of the veggies. That does a couple of things. First, it keeps it packed down so it ferments really well. It also keeps, if you choose to ferment and you're not using a crock, often the top layer gets kind of moldy looking.
Oh, interesting.
And usually you just scrape that part off, and what's under is really
still
good.
Mm-hmm.
Doing this with weights on top means you don't get the mold. You can eat all of your veggies.
I think we're packed completely.
Yep. So I'll just slide that one in, and slide the other one in. Oh yeah.
And then the juice is okay.
And
the juice is going to
juice are getting on top of
get
it.
on top of it.
It's
That's
all
fine.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
So then we just put the lid on top. Your cultured veggies are culturing. They will do this for a week or two.
Okay.
For us, we'll have yours in for a week, and then we'll come and check it after a week. In fact, we'll make a recipe with it after a week. That'll give us the opportunity to taste, see how it's doing, and then see if you'd like it to go more. If it goes more sitting out at room temperature, it just gets more zingy.
Right.
Really
Right.
yummy.
Yeah.
So that's it. You just take this container, wipe the outside down, and put it in a nice, quiet, dark place. I mean, it's dark
And what
inside.
temperature? And what temperature?
It's good to keep it about 72 degrees, and your home's nice and warm.
Right.
So really, anywhere you put it, as long as it's not right under a draft.
Right.
Inside a cabinet works. Tucked away somewhere in a closet works.
Will it smell when it's fermenting?
I don't think it'll smell too much in this. Keep it in a cooler with the lid on it. So all the smell stays together.
I was just wondering, like placing it in our house, because I love walking into my home and having it smell nice, and I just didn't know if that would make a difference. So
just put it in a cooler that has a lid.
thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Good job.
Thank you.
Right. Okay, next
Do you
time,
have a smoothie or?
strawberry avo maca smoothie. Yes. And sprouted lentils.
Sprouted lentils. I can't wait for sprouted lentils.
And coconut kefir.
Coconut kefir.
I will.